On the Jacob Beer Show, I'm so happy to be joined by Mike Lindell, the founder of My Pillow. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come over to your booth and interview you today. So, take us through a little bit. What would your advice be for somebody who's in college right now? What would your advice be if somebody wanted to start a business in college?
If you're going to start a business, the biggest thing is there's two things. One is find someone that's been in that business and learn from it. Learn everything and do your due diligence. That's so important. And once you're in the business, whether it's a product or whether it's service business, whatever, remember to treat every customer like your only customer, every employee like it's your only employee, and every part of that business like it's the only part of your business. You have to micromanage these things, and then as a whole, it just all comes together. And that's the other thing too. You're not gonna, by procrastinating, you're not gonna, when you start doing your due diligence, you're actually starting the process, and you're getting as you get going, you get more and more confidence, and that's what you need. Otherwise, too many people procrastinate. They don't want to take the risk. They don't want to take the time.
For sure. And just a couple other questions I have. A big thing is elections. How do you think we can get voter drive among young people out to the polls?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, if you want to, if you can go to Lindell, if you go to the App Store and get my app, the Courage app, that's a huge thing. Go to the Mike Lindell, put Mike Lindell app, it's the Mike Lindell Courage app. That thing right there will help you get people out to the polls. And it's all laid out for you there. If you want to learn about the hope that's in our country for our elections going, they're all rigged, we're doomed anyway. No, go to lindellplan.com. Lindellplan.com.
On Google, any DuckDuckGo, any search engine.
Yeah, lindellplan.com. Just write out my name, lindellplan.com. Everything you'll learn about there of what's going on in the country, what we're doing to secure our election platform. But that Courage app is what you definitely need if you want to go get other people out to vote. And by watching that movie I told you about, that movie, if you watch that, people are going to be going, hey, we need to do something now. That will get them encouraged because it'll explain where our election platforms are now and where we need to get to.
For sure. And two last questions. One is, would you ever consider running for public office?
Yeah, I was going to run for governor of Minnesota, but then that fight became, after the rigged election and all that, I said no. Now, will I, in the future, when our election platforms are fixed, or if my good friend Donald Trump, when he gets back in, would I do anything he wanted me to do? I would. I'll pray about it, and I'll do anything when I pray about it. When I ran for RNC chair, God told me to run, but He didn't say I was going to win.
And one last question. What is your favorite thing to do in Minnesota if somebody's visiting? What would you tell them to go? Where would you tell them to visit?
Well, I would. It depends what time of year they went there. There's nothing better than our fishing in Minnesota. We're not the 10,000 lakes for nothing, but we have some of the best fishing in the United States. So anything outdoors. If it's winter, the skiing we have, ice fishing, all these things. If it's summer, if it's spring, if it's in the fall, you go up the North Shore where Lake Superior is, and the leaves changing everything. It's so diversified that it would depend what time of the year, and you can Google that. There's just massive stuff to do there.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Jacob Beer Show.
Well, thank you for having me on.